Okay, what we're trying to show here is the ability of a dog to take commands from protection work. Uh, Here's one that's taking attack mode. His name's Trigger. Here's the highway patrol. It's a good dog coming out. Doesn't look like I could ever pet this puppy, does it? Looks like he's just bad to the bone all the time. He was trained to stay in the car until he was needed. And then when I attacked his owner, he came out on his own. Pretty good dog. Notice how he's walking along off leash at a heel. He wants to go back to work, but he's very under control. He's hand signaling to sit and down and stay. Very friendly dog when he's commanded to be. He's going to put him back in the car in just a moment here, and we'll continue on. You'll notice when he takes off, he'll pat his left leg and tell the dog to follow him. Tells him to get in the car. Tells him to stay. Now he's going to send him on an attack command even though the man has not attacked him. There it is. You'll notice my feet, he just about pulled me off my feet. Now when he calls him off, he's got to be totally friendly. And most people don't realize this can be done with a dog at all. See, I've got my hands right down in his face, hugging him around the neck, patting him on the side. The same dog that just was attacking me is now can be totally friendly. That's what can be done with any family protection dog. Just take some training. Dogs don't have a conscience. They do what they're trained to do. And he'll be friendly with anybody that you tell him to be friendly with. You can have friends over at your house and family, and once the dog's comfortable, everything's just fine. Now he's going to tell the dog to come to him. The dog thinks he's on attack mode. He shuts him off right there. Tells him to come around and lay down. Look at me, I'm pretty glad he got him shut down at that time. Anyway, that gives you a pretty good demonstration of what can be done with a dog. Here what we're doing is working on this dog to make him make a mistake. And I'm after agitating him there, he made the mistake. He calls him back, tells him to sit, called him off immediately. Now if you were in a family situation, the dog wouldn't even be on alert. He'd just be friendly with everybody and just, wanting a biscuit from whoever. Now he sends him. Now when he calls him off, he's got to be totally friendly, and I have to trust our training here. Here he comes back totally friendly. Hugging him, patting him all over. You just saw that picture, you wouldn't think that was a bad dog at all. This is an obedience trial with 2,500 other dogs present. Lots of noise, lots of distractions, other dogs, people, kids. Lots of things the dog's never seen before. You'll notice that dog's walking on a real loose leash perfectly, and when the man stops, the dog stops and sits down automatically. He's looking at me behind the camera. I'm the only person he's aware of in the whole building because I've been working with his protection work. The next thing you'll see is this dog, in a little bit here, you'll see them doing his protection work right after this show. The judge or no one else knows that this is a protection dog. They don't have to because he's very controllable. Notice how he sits. Now the two people coming in the little green jackets here are stewards, and they're part of the dog show. This proves the dog's good around other people. He's going to do what we call a figure 8 around the people. And if he sniffs them or bothers them in any way when he goes around them, he's giving points off. When he stops, he's got to stop and sit down. You notice him look at me, he hadn't forgot where I'm at yet. He stays right in there, you know, totally friendly dog. You would never know, looking at this dog around all these people, around all these dogs, that he could even be a protection dog. That's what we're demonstrating here, that a dog can be very functional, very protective of his family, and very controllable. Now he's going to do what we call a stand for examination for the judge. This judge is a total stranger, doesn't have any idea about this dog's training or what he might be able to do. He's a little apprehensive. You would be too if you were petting a big Rottweiler that you didn't know. But the dog just looked at him and accepted him just fine because his owner told him to. Now he'll tell him to sit. Now when the dog pats his left leg on the leg there, well, the dog just follows him right off. Judge says position your dog up here, and he does it. Dog's taking a look at the judge. And he tells him to heel. Takes off walking. Totally off leash. He stops, the dog sits down. He starts off left foot first, and the dog follows him. He stops, and the dog sits down. It's nice to have a dog trained like that, because around all sorts of distractions, you can take him for a walk in the park and not have him causing anybody any grief or misery. You could be proud of your dog. Judge told him to hurry up there and step along, and the dog followed him right along. Judge says, well, is he going to sit down? Yep, he is. Good dog. Now, we're doing what we call a total recall here with all these distractions. He positions his dog in position because he's still paying attention to me overrunning the camera. And the judge tells him to leave your dog, and I'll tell you when to call him with a pointed pencil. Okay, now, you'll notice the judge point the pencil. Away we go. Dog finishes coming to him, sits down, and he'll tell him to heel around, which means come around back behind me. He tells him with a voice command. He sits. If you had a dog in the park and the dog came to you and sat down in front of you, and then you told him to heel, and he walked around behind you and sit down, that'd be a perfectly trained dog, and everybody would know it. Now we're in a group situation. They've taken their leashes off from them. There's 8 dogs down there all together, completely strangers to each other. And what these people are going to do is tell the dog to stay with a hand signal and a voice command and walk away from their dogs. Now, I don't know what that little judge would do down there if one of the dogs broke and went to the other dogs, but hopefully that doesn't happen. And in this case, it doesn't happen. Sometimes it does in dog shows, but this Rottweiler thinks he's going to be there for about 30 minutes, so he's real comfortable. Now they're going to down them on command when the judge tells them to, and leave their dogs again. Very important that a dog's controllable around other dogs and animals. Now there's the down signal, the down stay command. Again, the Rottweiler gets comfortable because he thinks he's going to be there for an hour. He calls him off. I'd reach in there and pet that puppy. It's just a short step from here to having the dog totally off leash and controllable. Not a bad dog at all, just a real